The world is changing very fast, and so is also our food. So today you can walk into a supermarket and then you find a burger that is made entirely from plants, but it looks and smells like and it also breathes like it is from meat. So, but here is the big questions: are these plant-based meats really a healthier choice, or are we just trading one protein for another? So let us separate the science from the marketing hype and uncover whether the plant-based meats are the future of healthy eating, or this is just another ultra-processed food illusion. Welcome to Wellness Health Services Health Talks. I'm Dr. Nderitu, a family physician. I have interest in public health and cancer prevention and treatment. Today we are looking at the plant-based meats, and we are going to look at them. Are they a solution to an alternative to animal meat or animal proteins, or this is just another healthy hack that is leading us to more ultra-processed food? As you are aware, the consumption of meat it's at its highest in our world today. And if you look at the American state statistics, about 95% of the American people are meat consumers. And this fairly cuts across the world like that. So what is happening? There is thinking that can we be able to reduce the consumption of these animal-based meats and proteins to get more consumption of the plant-based proteins. And so people are taking the protein from plants and synthesizing them to mimic the animal proteins. This barely to help people who are more diehards of animal proteins to consume the plant proteins. So the plant-based meat have exploded in popularity beyond the meat, the Impossible burgers, and many others, now dominating the menus and the shelves. So the promise is they taste like beef without the cholesterol, the cruelty to the animals, and also the carbon footprint. So while these companies which are about to make business out of these proteins and also save the planet, me and you want to know, what about our health? Does it have any better benefits, or is just another form of ultra-processed food? And are we nourishing our bodies or feeding a new form of processed food? So these are real things that we need to question and be able to have concrete answers, that when we make our decisions, then we are not cheating ourselves, and we are also not getting our pockets robbed in the guise of eating plant food, while plant protein, while what we have is just another ultra-processed food. So how are these plant-based meats made of? So most of these plant-based meats, they come from pea protein, soy protein, or even wheat gluten oils like coconut or canola, or even starches and the other flavorings. So to make them taste like beef food, scientists add things like chyme, which is a form of soy fermentation, and the beet juice for color, and also stabilizers and the emulsifiers. So this is how the plant protein is processed to look like or to taste and even to behave like the animal proteins. So the goal is to mimic the meat texture and flavor without using the animals. So this sounds good, but here is the catch. These whole foods, are they not engineered foods which are being created in the labs, and they are refined, they are flavored, and also they are packaged. And that means we need to look closely at their nutritional truth. Yes, we want to save our animals, we want to eat healthy, but are we not just adding more processed foods to our diet? A 2024 review published in the Frontiers of Nutrition found that replacing red meat with plant-based meat alternative for 8 weeks reduce your low-density lipoproteins cholesterol by about 12%, and they also reduce the total cholesterol by about 6%. This is lower than you would expect from normal animal proteins. Another trial published in Nutrients showed that the blood pressure improved. Plant-based proteins lowered blood pressure and also improved the gut microbiome diversity in people who swapped meat for plant-based burgers. These are different studies that have been done on these plant-based meat, and they showed that the cholesterol is low, and these products are cholesterol free, not like the normal animal meat that you might add to your low density lipoproteins. And they are lower in saturated fats, and they often provide dietary fiber and protein phytonutrients that are real meat doesn't have. This is meat itself doesn't have any fiber, but if you get these plant-based meat then which have been made, then you are likely to get fiber, you are likely to get benefits of low density lipoproteins, unlike the normal meat. So what are the concerns even if these foods have these advantages? One, before you rush to the store, here the other side of the story from these foods. Many plant-based meats are ultra processed. They are packaged with sodium, refined oils, and also additives. Could this be having other effects on our health? That is something to think about. Some of them contain as much saturated fat as the lean beef, especially those that use coconut oil. These plant-based meats are made from various plants and various types of oils. They have also various different types of additives to make them smell and look like meat. Then the sodium content can be double or triple that of real meat, and we know the disadvantages of salt. In one of my previous videos, I've talked about salt. I've talked about the various types of salt and their impact on blood pressure. If you have not watched that video, you can have a look at it and enlighten yourself on the importance of salt and what are some of the dangers that we get in using salt. So then also we find that the salt content of some of these plant-based meats is they have very high content of sodium, 350 to 400 milligrams of sodium compared to 80 milligrams in plain beef. Then vitamins like B12, iron, zinc, and creatinine are often missing or added synthetically, and are they good for our health? These are some of the things that we need to ask ourselves. So while these foods may look like heart healthy swap, the degree of processing may create one new health question, from inflammation to gut disruption. So what are the real health risks of these ultra-processed food? One, let's talk about what nutritional scientists call the ultra-processed foods. These are products made mostly from isolate, starches, and additives rather than the whole ingredients. So the food is engineered to have specific taste and to be attractive in particular ways. And multiple studies linked high intake of ultra-processed food with increased risk of obesity. We have seen it, hypertension, diabetes, and even depression and even some cancers because of the increase in our belly fat. So the question is not just is it plant-based, but is it how processed it is. And we know that some of the highly nutritious food like maize, when it is ultra processed and the outer coating is removed, then this now becomes a health risk. So whole plants like beans, lentils and mushrooms have decades of research that show that they reduce disease risk. But that the same apply when these foods become ultra processed and they are engineered to taste and look like animal meat. So these analogs of ultra processed meat have they fewer short-term risk or short-term benefits, but in the long run they have the side effects and the complications of the ultra processed foods. So let's look at the plant-based meat and the real meat on a head-to-head comparison. So when you look at a beef burger and a plant-based burger, the protein in them is 19 grams for the beef burger, 18 grams for the plant-based burger. When you look at the saturated fat, the beef burger has 80 grams of sodium of fat, and the plant-based burger has 5 to 7 grams of saturated fat, but it varies also on how they have been made. When you look at cholesterol, the beef burger has 80 milligrams of cholesterol. The plant-based burger has 0 cholesterol. Fiber, animal burger has 0 fiber. Plant-based burger has 2 to 3 grams of fiber. Then if you look at additives, if you look at the normal animal food, meat, it has no additives. The plant-based meat, they have about several additives to make them taste and look and breathe like meat. So when you compare them side to side, you can see the trade-offs. Where do you have the benefits? What are the risks? Like when you look at the cholesterol, the animal proteins have more cholesterol, but the plant protein have less cholesterol. When you look at the sodium content, the normal animal protein, they have less cholesterol. The plant-based, not cholesterol, but sodium. The plant-based meats, they have more salt than the normal beef. So the plants-based remove cholesterol and they add fiber, but they bring in along sodium and processing. So from a cardiovascular standpoint, short-term studies suggest that they are neutral or slightly beneficial, but long-term, is this going to be a benefit? But from a public health standpoint, they can be helpful in transitioning foods. There are those people who have difficulties reducing their red meat intake. If you want a soft landing, then you can go for the plant meat. They'll help you to slowly, if you can eat what has been made as plant meat, then you can comfortably go to eating lentils, beans with the time. So they are helping you to be able to transition, to be able to eat the whole foods. So eating the plant meat is not the same as eating whole lentils, beans, or even whole soy. It's just, I would look at it like a stopgap to getting people to change their lifestyles so that they can be able to enjoy more of the plant proteins. So the Harvard researchers summarized their study at its best. Plant-based meat can be healthier for the heart if they replace red or processed meat, but they are not necessarily healthy foods. So nutritional experts agree the benefits depend on the context, when you replace, and what else you eat, and also how much of the other things that you are eating. So say yes to these foods. They have lower cholesterol, and they also they remove the carbon footprint from our environment. But overconsumption may still contribute to sodium overload, and also can also lead to nutrient imbalances. So what is the future of these foods and the future of food as we see it? The future of food is changing. Scientists are experimenting with cleaner recipes, fewer additives, and better amino acid profile, and even fermented proteins from plants that mimic meat texture naturally. So these are some of the things, and possibly in one of my upcoming videos I talk about sprouting foods and also fermenting them. What are the benefits? So stay tuned and follow the overall health for these tips. So as research evolves, plant-based meat may get healthier, but for now we must use them wisely, and this should be part of a balanced way to transition to getting better nutrition from whole plant proteins. So if you are someone who is thinking about consuming these plant-based meat, are they healthy or are they a health risk? How do you see it? So the truth, they are both. They are healthy when they replace red or processed meat, but they are risky when they replace the real plant or whole foods because of the salt content that we have talked about, and also that they are ultra processed. So don't let the labels fool you. Read the ingredients, watch the sodium, prioritize whole plant proteins like beans, lentils, tofu, and even the chicken peas. These are the real cornerstones of a whole grain diet, and they are very healthy, and they have been shown that communities and societies that have consumed these whole plant food live longer and they live healthier. You talk of health spans more than lifespan, years lived in good health. So in the end, the healthier diet is not the anti-meat or the plant-based meat. It is pro-real food. What does real food and real nutrition mean to you? So because food should nourish you and not just mimic something else, and nourish you and build your health. So if this video has helped you understand the processed food, share it with someone who really needs to know about these plant-based diets, and also subscribe to the Overall Health at Dr. Nderitu YouTube channel for more evidence-based conversations on nutrition, lifestyle, and also wellness. So I am passionate about helping you live smarter, live healthier, live longer through science and also self-care. And very soon I will be publishing my book on healthcare, the self-care prescription for living a healthy, happier life. It gives you tips on how to live a better life through lifestyle modification, looking at the necessary screening test and the necessary test that will make you live healthier and better, and how to be able to manage and be able to live a healthier life and manage your lifestyle and live a healthier lifespan, a healthy span, not just the lifespan, but living healthy longer without having to struggle with the chronic complications of lifestyle diseases. So subscribe to the Overall Health YouTube channel. Follow us on our social media at Dr. Nderitu, and also you can also visit us at Wellness Health Services Medical Center for physical consultation or virtual consultation from our Wellness Health Services website. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more health saving tips.